Hi everybody and welcome to Indigosky Holistic. I'm Davina, an energy intuitive, holistic therapist and psychic, and I am just creating some new content for my YouTube channel here to share a little bit more of my wisdom and my gifts, and I'm very excited by the changes that have come through into my reality during the course of the last few months. It's been quite a whirlwind, quite phenomenal, and I'm really excited for what is growing and expanding through the next, the changes and shifts in energy that are going on around us in the cosmos at the moment. And I want to talk a little bit about our gifts, our power, and how scary that can be. This is based on my own experience and on the changes that I have been feeling within myself, but also the changes that I am supporting clients through at the moment, and then previous clients who are having big shifts and big changes going on for them as well. So one of the things that I am very often called to do is energy healing sessions. I am a Reiki master and a Reiki teacher, and I've been practicing Reiki, supporting clients with Reiki for around nearly 4 years and teaching for about 2. And this is my favourite thing to do in the world, is energy healing. I don't believe it makes me special that I can do this. I believe that every single individual, and also not people, animals as well, are connected to this life force energy, because that's all Reiki means, is life force energy. We all have it running through us. If you're a living being, you have it running through you. The plants in my room have it running through them. The crystals in my room have it running through them. This is just life force energy that is part of what makes everything. Even potentially my massage table and the chairs in my room have life force energy running through them. The thing that makes energy healer or teacher more attuned to it is their conscious awareness being brought to it, and that is done traditionally in the Reiki sense through attunements passed down from the legendary Usui, who was a simple Japanese man who just happened to get struck by the life force energy in a super powerful way, and began to realise these gifts that were already part of him, which he then began to pass on to other people. And that's what I do. So one of my favourite way to do this is actually not through present hands-on healing here in my therapy room, but is actually distance healing. And I have profound experiences through that, and have done right from the very first time whilst I was being attuned to Reiki in 2021, where I sent healing to a friend who was pregnant, and it was she was really suffering badly with pregnancy sickness, not just morning sickness but the whole works. And it was in the period after I'd sent this healing to her that she began to feel better. And my very first distance healing sessions with clients involved dragons coming to me, and me being like, well, I had this dragon come, and the client being like, oh my goodness, dragons are so special to me. And the picture that I shared at the time when she saw it was like, that's my dragon. And it was just an image that I'd found from Canva or my website server. It was not any particular dragon from any particular teaching or philosophy. So when I do distance healing sessions, I have been since then really honing in what I experience, and I think one of the reasons why I find them so much more powerful to me than when I do hands-on sessions physical face-to-face sessions here is because I'm not distracted by the physical body in front of me. In that, when there's another energy in the room with me physically, I get distracted. There's, for a period of time, unless that individual is really in tune with the energy themselves, and they're actually, side note, my clients who are either attuned to Reiki themselves or who are regular clients who've got accustomed to it, are also profound experiences. So it isn't actually the distance healing or the hands-on healing that's different. It is actually the receptivity of the client before me. Because I do sometimes do distance healing sessions where there's not a lot of intuiting goes on, where it's like what feels gentle and not very, like the messages that I get and the connection that I get psychically isn't great. And that's down to the receptivity and the belief and power of the client who I'm doing the session for. So when I do these distance healing sessions, I get really profound experiences, and this has opened up my psychic gifts, my intuition on a deeper level, so that I trust it more. Because when I message a client afterwards, voice note my distance healing clients to share with them the experience. And when I do, it's profound, because they'll be like, wow, yes, I had this experience myself. Or they'll, like, when I say energy centers, places where I felt activation or constriction, they'll be like, oh my goodness, yeah, that fits in with what's going on in my life right now, or all of those things. And that's opened me up then to realizing my psychic potential, and that is scary. That is scary, I'm not gonna lie. So anyone who doesn't know, before I became a mum and before I married my husband, we were, my husband and myself, raised in fundamentalist Christianity. The actual religious organisation was the Jehovah's Witnesses. And for anyone who is not familiar with that, and a lot of other Christian fundamentalists and other denominations of certain religions, not just Christianity, there's a dissuasion and a fear instilled around our natural psychic gifts, because everybody's psychic. Again, no one's special for being psychic. Hate to like burst the psychic's bubble of those ones who want to say to you that, you know, only certain people are psychic. We're all psychic. We all have these extrasensory perceptions, and we just don't know how to use them, because for a long period of time, in order to squash humanity down, those gifts have been played down, dismissed, and dehumanized, and made out to be unreal. So, having been raised where the belief of psychic gifts was then labelled in fear-mongering ways, it's took me a long time to release that fear. It took me, it's coming up 20 years, I think, since I left. When I left, it's quite a vague, it was kind of accidental, and it's only in recent years where I've been like, when exactly did I leave? Like physically, mental stuff went on for much, much longer. But yeah, that's a whole other story. So I had, having physically left 20 years ago-ish, it was opening up to things like meditation that started me on my healing journey to like explore the complex PTSD that religious trauma brought me and other things, and to open up my gifts, my intuition, my actual self-trust. And at this point I'm talking about not the psychic gifts, but like the self-trust, so trusting my body to give me messages as to like what was right or wrong for me, my trust in other people, or in like I'm a mum of 3, and I've always been what I call an intuitive mother, in that I would like watch signals from signs from my babies of what they wanted and what was right for them, and that was something that I played with as a mum, which led me down and then into this path. Like that led me into holistic health, because I don't want to poison my babies with shit in the house and shit in their bodies and things like that, which was something that I'd actually previously been interested in as well. You can read about that on my website, about my story. For holistic health has always been a big part of my life. But that like psychic trail slowly fed through, because I began to meditate, and that was something that, again, it was like something that you didn't do, because that's the devil's way of getting into your head, because nobody can silence the mind. But you know, they encourage you to meditate on their paraphernalia, their literature, but not meditate on the meaning of life, opening up to other philosophies and other stories and other concepts and religious, spiritual doctrine at all. Frowned on. Don't do that, because that's all from the devil. So as I began to meditate and open up, and that was like, began to change my life, and that was through that I stopped drinking alcohol when I started to meditate, completely by accident. Again, another story. I began to trust my body much more for what was right to go in it, which was where the alcohol reduction came from. I began to trust my intuition, the voices in my head for what was right for me to do with my life, with choices that I made. And that's, you know, it's been a learning curve, it's been a crazy learning curve. But through that, as I opened up more to the divine nature of all things, or what people may call spirit, source, God, whatever, you know, it began to become clear to me that my path is to remove some of this dogma and support people to open up to their gifts, by knowing that nobody's special for being a Reiki master, nobody's special for being a psychic, and oh my goodness, does that trigger the psychics and the Reiki masters, because we can all do these things, and there's just no dogma that should be attached to the life force creation that is running through us. And to clear that sometimes takes time, and it takes effort in the physical reality, because of these stories. It's almost like I was baptized, bad choice of word, baptized into the fire of the most strict religious dogma that could be heaped upon me. Maybe not the most strict, there are more strict death-dealing religious denominations out there. But the mind contamination, the brainwashing that goes on to hold you back from your true self is phenomenal in fundamentalist Christian religions and fundamentalist other religions too. So as I began to open up those gifts, I've had to navigate fear of showing up, fear of being seen. My elderly father is still in the religion, and a lot of my fear stems from, if he finds out and he cuts me off as his youngest daughter, it upsets me, and I love him dearly, and that is definitely the reason I'm sitting. I don't want to be sitting around waiting for his passing, because he's 89 now, before I show up for all of who I am. So every time I start to speak out, I can feel the hesitation within me, because those gifts are very real, and they're very much who I am, and I can't keep messing about much longer waiting for him to wake up and leave himself to see the indoctrination and the damage that that sort of religion is doing to people. But neither do I wish for him to pass and not be here anymore, because I, again, love him dearly and wish for him to live much, much longer. And also experience some of the healing for himself, because, you know, he's registered blind, he's 89, he's got lots going on. And it would be nice for him to see the potential of his own body to do some healing stuff. But again, maybe that ain't going to happen. But I am open to all possibilities, and I'm not messing around anymore. And some of the things that I am exploring now here on this channel, involving sharing my gifts, channeling information, channeling wisdom, and sharing my expertise in things like energy healing, sharing the Akashic records, sharing the gifts of the divine beings from other dimensions that I hear to guide us and support us. All of that and more are why I'm here, and it's terrifying. In fact, one of the things that I have repeatedly heard from my Akashic records is that I am scared of my own power, and I think that has definitely held me back, and I'm aware of that and moving through that, and the only way to move through that is to go in it and face it. That is oftentimes the only way to truly heal from our deepest, darkest shadow aspects, is to go in them. So here I am, shining my light, sharing my gifts and more. And I'm actually really, really excited. I'm really excited to be putting more out there, more of the real energy, frequency, healing support that I'm here to do. And it's powerful, and you can book a session, and you can read the feedback from my clients on my website. You can book a session and experience it for yourself, and really you can only know for certain the power within you by experiencing it. And I catalyze that, I activate that, and I support you in your own healing, because it's you that's healing, it's not me. Again, I'm not special for being able to activate that. I just wish for you to have the best healing experience of your life, and I can activate that in you, and you can only do that by coming and joining me and proving it to yourself that you are amazing, and that is what you're here for as well. Much love, keep shining, and I will see you again very soon.